guys hear me all right? I have two pieces that I want to read to you today. By the way, you look gorgeous.
Oh.
The hottest PWP. And thank you, Stacy, for organizing this. It was really important. I always have this sort of waffling when I get asked to be on a panel, and it's because I'm transgender, and I'm like, oh man, why doesn't somebody ask me to read because of my great imagery or my cool line breaks, or But then when I arrive, I'm just so it just feels really important, and so it kind of goes beyond words or sort of logical thought why this needs to happen. I was reading this great essay last week by Carol Maso, who is one of my favorite writers, and she has this wonderful essay called Break Every Rule, and she asks, does form imply a value system? Is it a statement about perception? And I've been thinking a lot about that question of form that has already been raised in this reading. And something that I've been doing lately is writing in what's being called the lyric essay, but I still think of myself as being a poet, so like Sam said earlier, that the poet is the sort of through line even through transition identities. And so I'm going to read you a lyric essay / poem that's coming out in Diagram. I think it's at the end of this month, so if you want to look at it. There are two things you need to know. There's a quotation at the beginning of the essay that's footnoted, and it's from an essay by Lacan called, what is it? It has this incredibly long title, of course. The essay is called The Instance of the Letter in the Unconscious. And that there's this sort of famous image from, Lacan always uses these diagrams, and there's this kind of famous one where it just says ladies and gentlemen, and then there are two doors. So there's a few sentences from Lacan, and then there's a section that's totally written by me, and then there's a third section where I interweave some of what I've already written with a statement, an open letter written by Justin Atkins, who is an activist, and he was arrested during the Occupy Wall Street Brooklyn Bridge, the March on Brooklyn Bridge. And he has this open letter to the NYPD, which I encourage you to read, about his arrest. He was handcuffed to a rail by a bathroom for 8 hours, and both all genders of people that were arrested that was the only working toilet, and he had to be there while they went to the bathroom and endure the smell and so on and so forth. It sounded to me like an account of torture, and then to be a trans person and to have that experience. So I was moved to write something in response to that. So I'll start with that piece, and it's called On Bathrooms, mix number 1. A train arrives at a station. A little boy and a little girl, brother and sister, are seated in a compartment face to face next to the window through which the buildings along the station platform can be seen as the train pulls to a stop. Look, says the brother, we're at ladies. Imbecile, replies the sister, can't you see we're at gentlemen? For these children, ladies and gentlemen, will be henceforth two countries toward which each of their souls will strive on divergent wings. And then there's the image of the doors labeled ladies and gentlemen. During recess, she enters the girls' bathroom, notes the older girls around the mirror. More of them than she expects, drops her eyes, slips past them as quickly as she can into a free stall. She hopes they don't see her, but they do. Whispers, laughter. She squats but can't relieve herself. The tiles are green fake marble, the stall door beige. She suppresses a sigh. She cannot go until the voice is quiet. Are they still there? Her bladder opens and her warm stream fills the bowl until the door opens. Before she can look up, in one thrust she manages to pull up her pants, slam the door wide and fly into the frail body of a girl her age. It's the small dirty girl who wears the same clothes every day. She grabs the front of her shirt, a soft flower print with a lace collar. She lifts her from the ground and presses her into the awful green marble wall. Don't you ever, she heaves from her clenched chest. The small dirty girl begins to cry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. She feels her hot breath on her knuckles through the thin slit of her tensed mouth. The girl quivers. Now what? She can't hit her. She can't go further. She turns to the mirror where the crowd of older girls gawk. The same ones? She wants to hit them. She will hit the girl in order to hit them, make them wince in pain, look away. They threaten. We're telling, you better stop. We're going to tell that you're beating up Angela. Angela, the other girl everyone makes fun of, who comes to school with dirt and grass in her hair and wears the same clothes every day, the blouse with the flower print and lace collar. She smells like the woods, her cheeks scuffed with dirt. But then it comes. Angela is a girl. They are all girls. They want to know, why are you in the girls' bathroom? They tell her, you're in the wrong room. Why don't you go to the boys' room? Earlier that year, the boy from India, who wears a blue suit to school every day, is walking in from the playground, in from recess, after the bell has rung, the bell that signals the time to line up. He walks into the playground gymnastic bars, cuts his skull open. Blood trickles down his white shirt, his blue suit, and he falls backward into the playground sand. She wants to run to him to help, but doesn't know how. She can't move. Quicksand, slow motion movie. She sinks with him. Why has the world cast this sun here on the blacktop in the middle of the day on the playground of an elementary school? Why has the Indian boy in the blue suit simply walked into the bar? Why didn't he see it? Why has he fallen? Why are they no longer in the green grass with the great white parachute running beneath it, crouching down while it billows its great cloud body over them? Why are they not laughing together beneath the white sheet and the shady grass at the center of a world somewhere far from here? Why has he fallen at the periphery? Why must he bleed everywhere in the sand all over his white shirt and his blue suit, while the teachers run toward him, crowd around him, then send someone for help, the nurse, an ambulance? He lies in the sand, blood in his hair, and stares blankly up into the sky, into the sun. The white of his eyes, the white of the parachute in the field shivers. One walks in a daydream and walks into objects, and what does one feel? Does one feel pain? Does one feel anything at all? Does one feel the outside trying to get in, while one's inside seep out into the playground? She wants to make the girls bleed. She wants to tear into their stares. She wants to bash their foreheads into the gymnastic bars at recess. She looks into the light brown eyes flecked with red and filling. The dirty girl's chin quivers, her breath soft, pants against her face, against her fists, pleading. The boy doesn't return to class that day. The next, he wears a bandage. Then they see the stitches, waxy wires sprouting out from beneath his hair. They sewed his skin back together, like Frankenstein's monster or Raggedy Andy. But he's from a foreign country, wears strange clothes, doesn't speak their language. No one plays with him or knows his name. My name is Justin Adkins. The bell had rung, the bell that signaled the time to line up. It was clear that it was my turn. I lay in the sand, blood in my hair. I went peacefully. I stared blankly up into the sky, into the sun. He asked what I had down there. Blood trickled down, my white shirt, my blue suit. She patted me down, my skull cut open, and proceeded to refer to me as she. You're in the wrong room with 2 cells and a bathroom. The awful green marble wall. You're in the wrong. Men arrested for a variety of crimes, some violent. I can't move, handcuffed, my right wrist to a metal handrail. Quicksand, slow motion movie. I remained handcuffed to this bar, next to the bathroom for the next 8 hours. Every person had to use the toilet next to where they had me, locked to the railing. The smell of urine was so strong, it billowed its great cloud body over me. She turned my chair, my arms still locked to the railing, but now pinned behind my back. I wore a bandage. They were bringing in women to use the restroom, and she could not have me watching. I wore strange clothes. Outside the glass wall, my skull cut open. They gawked, giggled, and stared. See the stitches, a laugh. Waxy wires beneath my hair. Find me curious and freakish. The white of my eyes. The officers laugh even more. One feels the outside trying to get in. Send someone for help. The nurse, an ambulance. I needed to urinate. I was in danger. The white of the parachute in the field shivered. Now that I've silenced you into submission. I'm just going to read I was going to say a short poem, but I've been writing these longer pieces lately. I don't know why, but I'll call this a poem, as opposed to what I read before, which I'm calling a lyric essay/poem. The title for this is The Sky Peels Up. The sky peels up, clouds, petals of flesh. We lock arms on the hillside, press our faces into sun and wind. I wish I had a kite, I said. I wish we were one, you said. I laughed and felt my hair turn to crystal. Rain washed us back to the dormitory, modeled after a prison. Our voices echoed. You touched the cold glass, watched shapes of rabbits burrow into black grass. Doubled in the window, my hands on your hips. You said, I wish, and pointed toward the rattling trees, and stars swayed beyond the leaves. Behind you, I'm the shade of a tree. Imagine my antlers grow, spring flowers, insects on the lip of one. Only the sound of me inside, a rainbow, bending, slow as roots, splayed piano strings, a hawk's beak drawing, guts through a pigeon's breast. Sleep comes like a ship, splitting the ocean's skin. Morning and sun leaves diamonds along my brow, between my thighs. As if seasick, I sink. Blood beats against my teeth. Precious animal, the body, husk. Together we, backbend and pearl, bone silhouette, a ship's mast swaying across the headboard.